Now that we've learned how to run the system, including setting up time programs and sequences with repeat and stacked injections, it's time to look at the data. Using SFNav Data Viewer, we go to File, Open. We then select the data and choose the sample name under which we saved our data that we're interested in opening. Before it opens, we have a previewer that tells us what injector we used, the analysis time, the injection volume, if we did an injection interval or stacked injections, as well as a preview of the chromatogram at the bottom. We can also, if we choose, to open the temperature and/or the pressure profiles for each of the pumps and heaters. By default, as you can see, it only opens the chromatogram itself. Click Open, and as you see here, it lists all of the open chromatograms, in this case just one. On the left side, we have the system information during the analysis time, injection volume, flow rates for each of the pumps, temperatures, the back pressure, the wavelength, and the position of the valves. At the bottom, we have the sequence file as it would run. Any changes in the time program, such as running gradients or collecting fractions, would be shown here. If we did collect fractions, they would also be labeled here, and we would also see highlighted peaks, just as we see in the acquisition. Any log information or comments would also be shown. The two views, should we open multiple chromatograms, the top one will always be the active that we're clicked on, and the bottom will be an overlay of all those that are open, with the particular one that is clicked and shown above will be highlighted in red as seen here. If you have done stacked injections, simply uncheck the individual view and you can view all the stacked injections in one. Otherwise, as expected in any data viewer for preparative SFC, it's very simple in order just to confirm that your fractions were collected correctly and at which bottles they were collected. If we would like to look at the pressure, we'll go back, click Open, and now we can simply check the pressure and click OK. Now you'll see we have the pressure button activated. If we click it, we can see the pressure for each of the pumps as well as the BPR in the system. As you can see, the one we click on is shown at the top and all 5 are shown at the bottom. Again, the one we click on is highlighted in red. The same can be done with temperature if you choose. We can print reports should we want to, including the configuration of the system, the sequence and/or time program, as well as 2 different graph options. In graph 1, as you can see, we can show the single data, which is the top chromatogram, as well as the overlay data, the data list as shown, the analytical conditions, and the fraction information right here in this tab if there is fraction collection occurring. And we can then click Print. In graph number 2, we can show a little bit of other information. We can choose whether we show the single or overlay chromatogram, that is the top or the bottom, and the size, and then it simply lists the flow rates of the pumps that we've checked, the temperatures of the heaters and column oven that we have checked, the back pressure, and the wavelength. We can also type in a title and comments if we like to. And again, once we're set, simply click Print.